welcome to the first cigar Q&A. Thought we'd do something a little bit different from the previous couple videos we've done. Something we want to really bring to this channel, as well as the more comedic, the vlog style content, is the raw, sat down, unedited, just straight how it is, because I feel, or we feel, there isn't a lot of this on YouTube anymore, is there? It's rare to find just genuine, sat down, talking to the camera about important topics, which, yeah, you don't see a lot of it. It's all just fast-paced, really edited content, which is nothing wrong with that, but I think we're missing this sort of element at the moment on YouTube, on social media, which is something we really want to try and bring back as well.
Yeah. So we have put on our stories for you guys to give us some questions. We really want to give some value back. Hopefully you get some value from this. We might just chat a load of absolute shit, but we're going to enjoy it. Raw, uncut, just go through it. So we're going to go through these questions and we hope you enjoy. So the first question that we did have was, what is the cigars we are smoking? So these are Monte Cristo number 2s. So I can't say I'm a cigar connoisseur. I've had about 6 or 7 cigars in my lifetime.
Myself neither. This is probably my third or fourth, but yeah, it's nice.
But it's nice. So we're going to be getting into it. We're going to be doing this a bit more. It's just a nice thing to go through. It's like, I know people who keep journals and just go through. You go for different tastes. You pair. Unfortunately, we haven't got any whiskey right now. But you pair it with different drinks, and it's just a nice experience. And having a cigar with your boys, it's just nice. Gets the thoughts flowing, just nice and chilled out. But yeah, let's get into the first question. Was there a pivotal moment for either of you that caused you to start fitness coaching and posting content online?
Pivotal moment to start coaching. I wouldn't say for myself it was a pivotal moment. I think maybe for you, so I'm not sure if it was different, any different for yourself, but it was kind of a natural development. I've always helped people throughout the course of training, right? I can even think to 8-9 years ago, probably saying for yourself, but I've always been approached by people in the gym, because I made quite quick progress initially. I was always really underweight, really skinny, made quite quick progress. People just approached me, so for myself it was kind of more just a natural development of slowly helping people over time, maybe writing a little program here or there, or offering a little bit of advice, and that just kind of progressed until I started actually selling coaching and doing coaching full time. I wouldn't say for me it was a pivotal moment. I just always knew I wanted to help people. I knew my passion was fitness, so that's kind of what pushed me to do it. Not sure about yourself?
Yeah, no, I'm exactly the same as Aaron. I was in a position where I just wanted to help people. I'd done numerous jobs over the years. Construction, retail, I worked at pubs, I'd done all sorts, right? But you never get that fulfillment of helping people, and even a bit of trading as well, so I'd done trading beforehand. But when I started getting into coaching, and I'd done it for years, even since I started actually doing fitness, I was always helping people on the side, helping them with training programs, or showing lads how to get into the gym and do that sort of things. So yeah, that fulfillment aspect that you get when you start coaching, that is probably what really pushed me into it. And obviously the knowledge base me and Aaron have been able to gather over the years, I mean, we've got a combined like two decades of experience, like 20 years of experience in the gym. So we've got the knowledge, and we're like, why not use it? And why not? That's the thing, it's such a big thing that people don't realise, fitness. And I mean, if you ask any entrepreneur or anyone who's succeeded like very well, the majority of them will tell you it starts with fitness. Strong body, strong mind. So it's very important to start with the fitness.
I think for us, well, just one last bit on that is we realise how much that's impacted our lives. Like, I would not be the person I am now when I ever started training, getting into my fitness and focusing on my health and building my physique and my confidence and strength. But that's completely changed my trajectory, and I want other young lads to realise that and, really see where their true potential is, and going on their physique development journey, their strength journey, and just, really pushing themselves to limits they didn't even know they had. And I think that's what really drew me to wanting to help people. So I found out how beneficial it was for my life, likewise for you, and I want other young lads to kind of have that experience as well. But yeah, good question. Let's see what we've got next.
So, any fears of being judged for doing what you guys do?
Fears of being judged. There's always fear. There's always fear in the back of your mind. No matter what you do, anything, like approaching people, whether it be like new people to interact with, a girl, posting content on social media. I know I still occasionally get the second thought, the doubt of, should I post a certain type of content? But at the end of the day, fear isn't real. It's one of the only emotions which we don't feel. Once it goes past, there's you don't feel in the present moment. Fear is just based on something that you could have changed in the past, or something that you might happen in the future which you have no control over. And I think I'd always just remind myself of that. It's all going to go one day. So why do we care about what people think? There's no point stressing out. It's just.
And I can guarantee, guys, anything you're doing right now, whether that's getting to fitness, posting your content online, just doing what we do. You start out and you might have people take the piss, right? I did. I started when I was 14. I was posting fitness content of me working out in the garage, doing all sorts of stuff. And I can remember very specifically some individuals who were posting on me on their social profiles, sending screenshots of my fitness content saying this makes me want to kill myself, like this is embarrassing, all that sort of stuff, right? But you've got to be so laser focused and the thing is, especially when you're young, right? You can get this throughout your whole of your life, but especially when you're young, people are going to criticise you, right? But you've got to keep going. And now, literally just last week, I had one of those same individuals who was chatting shit basically, pop up to me and ask me about, sorry about this, like I'm so sorry the way I treated you, like how are you doing, like trying to be your friend and like asking for advice. So yeah, like if there's any young people watching this, young lads in particular, and you are sort of posting online, you're trying to do that sort of stuff, just do it. Just go for it. And the mistake that I made, to be fair, even though I was trying to stay laser focused, I did go on and off of posting content for a long time because I always had that imposter syndrome, like most people do. When you start posting content, it's very hard to be authentic, and it's really hard to be yourself on camera. It's such an unnatural thing, like talking to the camera and doing that side of things. But the more you do it, the more reps you put in. Like anything, you get better at it. So yeah, just keep your head up, keep pushing forward, and
it's the things you don't do which you will regret the most later in life, not the things you do. Yeah. So remember that one.
100%. Any advice on how to put less value on other people's opinions? Pretty much the same as last one. I mean, you shouldn't put value on them. Like, obviously, everyone's opinion should be valuable. Like, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Like arseholes, everyone has one. So it's. But
shouldn't let it affect your reality.
Exactly.
I think my sort of judgment on that, my perception is, I listen to people's opinions of me that I care about, close friends, family, because those opinions matter to me. Still don't have to take them on if doesn't align with my values, but to the vast majority of other people, acquaintances, people who interact with every day, maybe at work, social events and social occasions, that means nothing to me. Their opinion doesn't change my reality. I live my life how I want to, how I choose to see the world. Sorry about that, I'm going off. But yeah, it's a similar sort of question. You shouldn't live in fear of judgment, what other people think of you, because you're just living it's taking power away from you, and you're never going to truly feel free or content with where you're at.
Yeah, 100%. Right, this is going to be an interesting one.
Go on then.
Any advice to deal with breakup, like moving on, handling emotions in a healthy way, as well as just handling mixed emotions in general, and just in relation to breakups? So, do you want to take this one? Shall we start off?
Oh, where do I start, boys? Breakups. So, it's easy to resent someone after a breakup, I think. It's easy to just, I think naturally you want to hate the individual, you want to hate the person, because it makes it easy to get over it. But I think by doing that, again, similar to the last point, you're just allowing that individual to take power away from you. And it's not the right way to go about it. I think, generally speaking, the proper way to handle a breakup is obviously if you are breaking up with the individual, well, regardless how it goes, you wish them the best, you say your goodbyes, and you walk away, and you never turn back, and you keep it civil. And it's very difficult to do, very, very difficult to do. I've struggled with it. I've had issues in previous relationships where I've had to block the person so I didn't see their social media. I've struggled with still talk to them after a relationship, but I think from my experience from the last 3 or 4 long-term relationships I've had, it's walk away, head held high, wish them the best, and leave it on good terms. And don't hate them, don't let them take power away from you, because it's only going to affect your reality going forward. I'm not sure what your thoughts are.
Yeah, the thing is, right, you've got to see it as a positive. Every single heartbreak you have, you've got to, energy can't be destroyed. I've said this to my boys before, right? Energy can't be destroyed. That heartbreak you feel, that deep pain in your chest, right? When you break up and you're going through it, you've got to put that into something productive. You've got to turn it into a positive and make sure that by the end of when that heartbreak's over, you're actually left with something, right? If you just jack off and just cry and just go on some bad tangent, right, and just go on a downward spiral and just stay in your room, don't see anyone, don't socialise, right? By the time that heartbreak is gone, you're left with nothing. But if you put that pain into going to the gym, into leveling up your business, leveling up your finances, leveling up your mindset, right, and becoming the better man, you are not only going to be a better man, so by the time you deal with that heartbreak and she sees you, you're going to be in such a better place and she's going to be thinking, shit, I made a mistake here. But also, you're just going to be like a better man, everything's going to be in a better place, you're going to look good, you're going to feel good. So yeah, you've just got to reframe it into a positive.
Heartbreak is probably the most powerful emotion any man can feel, and I think you either go two ways after heartbreak. You use it and you harness it for good, or you go down a path of tyranny and becoming more worse off, I guess. So use that, sit in it. I think don't pretend the emotion's not there, because I've tried that before. I think every lad has at some point. You just brush it under the carpet, you pretend it's not there, you numb it. That doesn't work. You recognise the emotion, how you're feeling. You observe it and you choose how you react to that said emotion. Right? You ultimately have the choice over how something affects you. Like, you can feel the initial emotion. We're all human. You can't stop the feeling, but you choose how that affects you. Right? And if you can choose that and harness it and put that into your training, your business, your friendships, or other good things in life, you will just see your life 10x, 100x, just drastically improve. Like Lewis said, you learn everything from relationships. Well, you always take a lesson, and every relationship I have, I've learned a lesson that's made me a better person today. And I think they're good.
Yeah,
I think they're good.
It's nice. Like heartbreak, it sounds psychotic, but sometimes you just want to. Once you know what heartbreak's like and you've experienced it before, you just want to sit in it and you want to feel it, and you just want to feel that feeling because it gives you power. You feel that sort of, it is energy, and it gives you that sort of fire to want to do something. Because I can remember, for me, and I've said this to the boys, I've said this to Aaron before, I can remember when I got my heart broken, I was sat on the bus so angry, right, because my car broke down at the time, everything was going to shit, I was in debt, everything was going, and she left me as well, everything was going bad. I was just sat on the bus with my fist clenched, literally like tears of anger rolling down my face, right? Not crying, but just literally just so much energy and just stress and like so much emotions. But I'm like, I have to make a change. I have to do something about this because I'm not going to let this be the end of me. I'm going to let this transform me into a fucking monster.
And just think to yourself, if you happen to cross paths and see that individual again 6 months, a year, 2 years down the line, when you cross past them, how do you want them to perceive you? Do you want them to think, oh, he's a fucking loser, he's got even worse when you broke up, or do you want to think, fuck me, I made a mistake?
Yeah.
And I can tell you boys, the latter is 100% worth it. Not that we do it for other people's justification or gratification, I guess is the correct word, but we do it for ourselves. But I'm telling you now, you want the latter, trust me.
But you shouldn't ever seek revenge on them or be malicious in any way. You've got to. The only revenge there is to level yourself up, and they realise they fucked up, and that is the only way to go about it. And then they're like, wow, but you're in such an upwards trajectory, and you've got so many more options available that it doesn't matter anyway. You can just and you're just happy. So I think we covered that one. But
good one. We could probably make a whole video on that. At some point. Whole video.
Right. What's your thoughts on trying to improve the people in your circle, opposed to changing your circle, trying to instill better values and more drive in them?
Oh, it's a tricky one, this one. I think don't focus too much on bringing up other people more so than yourself. I think if you're around a good group of boys, a good group of people that are constantly seeking development, naturally, as a product of environment, being the average of people you're around, you will all level up together, and that's what we found in our group. In most groups will be the same. I think if you focus on trying to improve other people, whilst it might feel like the right thing to do, well, you can certainly offer advice, you can certainly help each other out, that's what friendships are about, but don't focus on trying to improve too much on other people's lives. Focus on bringing yourself up, and as a byproduct of you becoming better and progressing, they will progress as well if they are in your group. That's
and the people who fall off are people who weren't meant to be around you in the first place, because they still want to stay in those ways whilst you're leveling up. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult to let people go, right? But you've just got to say that look, I've only got one life, I've only got one chance to be the man I want to become, right? I'm not going to get there by going out on the weekend, I'm not going to get there by doing the normal things and hanging around with the same people. So, yeah, and that's the thing, if you focus on yourself, and you focus on the positive things, right? The reason why me, Aaron, Jack, and all those boys, right, that we hang around with, that you might have seen, the reason why we get on so well is because we met through something positive, through the gym. And when you, same with relationships as well, you'll meet a right girl, not when you're, like, I mean, very rarely, but if you're out at a club getting pissed and you're around a bunch of cokeheads, you're not going to meet the right girl. Same with friends. But if you're in the gym, or if you are at a business seminar, or something that's positive, right, that's actually, someone's trying to improve their life, right, you will meet the best people in your life if you are doing something positive. So that is the main thing. If you're trying to attract new people, you want to be on the upwards trajectory, and you'll attract more people who are doing the same thing, and positive people in your life. And then for people, like, for letting people go, just keep sticking to yourself, keep attracting those new people, and the old people will start to fade off. And then, yeah.
Law of attraction. You attract what you are. So focus on yourself, the rest will follow through.
100%. Any personal goals you guys have set for yourselves this year?
Personal goals? Not many this year. Not many, because from my personal experience, I focus too much on, and this might just be personal to myself, this might not apply to everyone listening, I focused too much on goals last year, to the point where when I achieved said goals, I felt like a big sense of, well, now what? I felt lost. And I think I became so focused on statistics and numbers and setting figures as goals, whether that be revenue, clients, following on social media, just whatever it was. And I quite quickly realised that by focusing on the outcome, I kind of lost myself in the process. So this year for me, personally, I'm focusing purely on input and doing the things I know every day that make me a better man, a better friend, a better potential future partner, better business owner, better coach. I'm focusing on those variables, and just the outcome will be whatever it is, right? I'm not focusing on hitting a certain number, a certain goal as such. Obviously I want to improve overall, maybe a bit more muscle mass, maybe learn how to fight, but I'm not setting specific goals as you. I'm just focusing on doing things every day which I know make me better across every metric, and the outcome is what it is. But I'm not sure about yourself, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, no, I agree as well. Aaron said it perfectly, focusing on inputs. Like, when people, I mean, we are in February now. In January, right, I was saying in my stories and I was saying to people that everyone sets their New Year's resolutions and they set these big goals for themselves, and because they haven't put the systems in place and focused on the inputs, those goals never happen. And I'm guilty of it too. I have set goals for myself in the past, and I haven't focused on the inputs. If you can say, okay, I want to grow my social media, for example, let's say, right? Instead of saying, I want to have 100k on Instagram by the end of the year, say, okay, I want to aim to post daily or post 2 times a day, right? Focus on the inputs. And whether you get to that 100k milestone in 3 months, in a year, in 10 years, you know that it's in fate's hands because you've done everything possible to get to where you want to be. Instead of focusing on the outcome, you have focused on the inputs, and if you know you couldn't have done anything more on that day to get to where you want to be, then it's out of your hands. And you haven't got to feel down about yourself or like you haven't got to where you want to be, because you know you've done everything possible. You couldn't have changed anything. So you've done everything in your power to get there.
The man who loves walking will walk further than the man who loves a destination. And I always used to read that quote and go, not true, but last year I really learned that the hard way. Process driven, it is always the way. But yeah, it's a good question. But yeah, no set personal goals, just input, and then outcome will be whatever it is.
Have you guys struggled with comparing where you are in life to others your age and how to deal with it?
I'll let you start.
So yeah, it's very easy to compare yourself to others, especially when you go on Instagram, right, and you see teenagers, 17, 18 years old, buying Lamborghinis, doing all that sort of stuff, right? This thing, every man has a different journey. If you look at people like Mike Thurston, Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, they have only achieved success when they're in their late 20s, 30s. So success comes at different times for everyone, right? So don't feel like at certain ages you've got to achieve certain milestones. Just think to yourself about becoming a better person, and that is the main thing. And as you become a better person, you're going to attract what you want anyway. So that's ultimately the goal anyway. All you've got to focus on is leveling up your character, leveling up every aspect of your life to the best of your ability. and the rest will come naturally anyway. So
Comparison is the thief of joy. So I've been around people I've had the privilege to talk to, work with, and interact with. People in our industry, coaches making numbers I didn't even know were possible when I first got into the industry. I genuinely didn't even know it was possible to make that sort of money. And initially, I'm comparing myself. I'm thinking, why am I not in that place that that person is? Why am I not at this place? And then this is where then the goal setting comes in and kind of intertwined to this as well. And I'm focusing so much on getting to that next part that I lose myself in the process, and I just don't enjoy it anymore. But when you focus on the process and the input, and like you said as well, it will happen. It's not a matter of if, it's just when it happens for you. Focus on your journey. It's your reality, no one else's, and just keep focusing on yourself and don't look at other people. It's just noise. It's all noise. Other people's journeys, cool, look up to people, take influence from people, in a position you want to be in, potentially a bit further down the line than you are, but don't fixate on it, because it will just, take the joy out of the process for you. So
yeah, no, 100% guys, 100%. So have you guys struggled with feeling lost and navigating life in your 20s, as well as learning to not regret decisions you've made?
So,
Not regret decisions you've made.
I'll start with. So, yeah, with that, so feeling lost, first of all, on the first sort of part of that, is, and I won't, I've kind of just already mentioned it, but the feeling of focusing too much on goals, I felt lost because of that. And then I think back end of last year I really felt that. Then I kind of realigned myself, my values, what I truly want to do, the impact I want to have. A big reason for myself, for what I want to do, is serving humanity. I think we're here to give back to our kind in one way or another. We chose to do it through education, fitness, through what we're trying to do, and I think it depends on what you want to do in terms of your purpose. But definitely felt lost. I mean, I would say I only really knew what I wanted to do in the last sort of year or so. Probably similar for you as well. I've tried many different jobs. Went to university. Haven't used my degree once. I think it's good to feel lost, because I think it's the exciting part is trying to find out what it is you want to do, and trying to switch the paradigm on that, and think, this is opportunity. You're trying to figure out what you want to do. You get to try different things rather than kind of sitting in it and seeing it as a negative.
Every man's got to navigate their own way and their own path. And for me, I remember feeling pretty lost when I was sort of 18, 19. I can remember working in construction when I was 18 years old, labouring, right, throwing bricks around, just absolutely hating it. I knew from a very young age. I started filming, and we both started filming from a very young age, YouTube videos, 14, 15, and just feeling like we never sort of fit in anywhere. But once I got to 18, I can remember being in construction, and almost every single man has that pivotal point where something clicks, something snaps in their brain, and they're like, this can't be the end of things. I need to make a change, or I need to try and find something different. I was working construction, I was absolutely fucked up there each day, and I was like, this can't be the end. So then I started getting online, searching how to get rich online, and just trying to basically just search whatever ways I could make money elsewhere, right? And just basically get out of that environment. So, with regretting, I'd say you shouldn't ever regret anything. You should always feel like, and say to yourself, this is a story that I'll someday tell, but also this is what has helped me become the man I am today. So anything that I've gone through, I've failed at a lot of stuff, right? I've tried loads of different things. I've failed at a lot of stuff, but it makes you the man you are today, and you've got to realise it's part of the journey. But all these experiences, all these little lessons, even if you're just trying new things, right, don't ever feel like a loser for trying. Even if you fail, that is the exciting bit. I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Bill Gates, but some high-level entrepreneur basically was saying that in their company, when someone said they'd failed, they'd be like, yes, you've done something right, because when you fail, you've made one step to basically get into where you want to be, to that success. So
I always think back to with that Tommy Shelby quote from Peaky Blinders, the past is the past is no longer my concern. Anything that's happened in the past, I write it off. As soon as I feel myself trying to think about how I could have done something differently, I immediately outthink myself and try to change my environment, my thinking. And you can never regret anything in life, because as long as in that moment in time you made the move on the board, on the chessboard, right, that you thought was best at that moment in time, that's all you can do, right? Life is about literally every decision you make, every opportunity you have a chessboard in front of you with various different moves you can make, right? But there's obviously technically probably one best move in terms of like like a strategic standpoint, but you decide what you think the best move is, right? And that's the beauty of it, right? Is whatever you think is best. So just choose, as long as you choose what you think is best at that moment in time, then you can't regret it, because every decision I've made, whether it's been a breakup, a failed idea of business, whatever it is, like I made the best decision in that moment in time, so I can't regret it.
And the main thing is you can't change it.
Exactly. So
as soon as it's made, you can't change it. So don't get down about, I could have done this, or in the past I should have said this different, or I should have changed the way I acted. Look, the only thing you can do is be better and try and be better. Like you can only improve on what you are doing right now, and you can only improve on what you are going to be doing in the future, right? But you can't change the past, guys. So don't get down about it.
So something as a gym goer with over a decade experience you wish you knew sooner, something that if you had done would have made you more progress. So something you wish you knew sooner as a gym goer.
It's pretty simple, right? And we were actually talking about this the other day. So as a gym goer, get a program. Track your macros, right? So you actually know what you're eating, because when you start out, and especially when you're a youngster and you're a bit clueless, you will think, oh yeah, I'm having loads of food. You're eating biscuits and crisps, and you think you're eating, like if you're having loads of multiple snacks throughout the day, you think you're eating a lot, but you're actually not consuming the calories that you need in order to be in that bulking phase. Well, for us, it's the bulking phase. You might be in a different stage, you might be cutting, but the main thing is track your macros, track your calories, get onto MyFitnessPal, track all your meals, and just keep track of, the nutrition, the training. Progressive overload, right, is key, okay? Making sure you are in the gym and not just coming in there and working out, right? There's a difference between working out and training, okay? Yeah. You want to come in and start training. You want to have a plan in place. You write down each week what you are doing inside the gym, and next week you want to improve on that. You want to increase your reps, you want to increase your weight, or you want to add some new variables in, but that's it, it's the progression.
100%. Don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed a lot of what I've done in the gym. I think that's the beauty of it, right? When you first step in the gym, you're trying to figure it all out, you're trying to see what you enjoy doing, you find out what you like, what you don't like, whether it's bodybuilding, powerlifting, whatever route you go down. But I think, like Lewis said, I think if I go back, I always, from being someone who was extremely underweight, very skinny, I always thought I was eating enough. Then it turned out I started tracking my food intake. I was a couple thousand calories away from what I needed to be eating, right? Because I was comparing myself to people on a similar journey to me, someone with a much different sort of physique, body type, etc., different genetics, eating 2,500 calories to gain weight. I thought, okay, well, I need to be doing the same, surely, if he's doing it. Turned out I was in a huge deficit, right? So start tracking your food, and track your training as well. Don't be afraid to whip out the notepad and pen. There's dozens of apps you can use now. We've got an app you can use if you get coached by us, which tracks all your lifts for you and shows you how to perform them. And is tracking every week and trying to beat what you did the previous week. That's how we build muscle tissue, right? Like Lewis said, progressive overload. Other than that, just enjoy yourself, man. Just enjoy yourself in the gym, and it's about learning.
That's the main thing. And like the just to quickly add before the camera cuts off. I've said this to clients before, the best diet, the best training in the world is the one that you can actually stick to. Yeah. So that when you see people doing carnivore or doing all these crazy diets, just pick one you can actually stick to, right? Because someone will come in for a week, it will all fail, and you don't get anywhere, right? Just pick something you can stick to. Get a balanced diet, get a carnivore, whatever works for you, right? Just add into that.
So what do you think is the best form of influence to help you achieve your goals? Whether that be family, friends, information, online, or influencers. Good question. So the best form of influence to take advice from, essentially, to achieve your goals. So I guess it depends what your goal is, right? I think from my perspective, if I'm looking at taking advice from someone, I'm taking advice from who's in a position I want to be in. If I want to make money, I'm going to take advice from someone who's made a lot of money, not someone who's got less money than me, right? Doesn't say the person who has less money doesn't know what they're doing. It's just I'm choosing my sources of information. If I want to be a professional bodybuilder, I'm probably going to look at the professional bodybuilders or the coaches of professional bodybuilders, right? I think it depends, I don't think it matters who they are in terms of like, are they a family member, a friend, an influencer, a coach, whatever they are they in the position that you want to be in or on that journey slightly ahead of you? That's how I would judge my source of information. Obviously, there are other variables. you have got to watch out for a lot of the bullshit you see online nowadays, especially in the fitness industry. But generally speaking, if someone's in a position you want to be in, that's probably a good influence, 9 times out of 10, I would say.
Yeah, 100%, no, I agree. So, yeah, you just want to look at who has, I mean, that's it. See who's come from a similar place that you have and you want to get to, essentially. So, and also, don't be arrogant. You've got to invest in yourself, right? You've got to invest in yourself. So, a lot of people are scared to spend money on coaching, for example, or courses, or anything. If you want to get to somewhere and someone has been there and is selling something to teach you the lessons that you need to learn to get to the same place, don't be arrogant and thinking, oh no, they probably don't know what they're talking about, or it's probably a scam. Stop being arrogant. Every single entrepreneur, every single person who has got to that place has invested in themselves, whether that's books, courses, mentors, whatever it may be, right? Don't be arrogant. Invest in yourself and stick.
Don't be afraid to learn. Learning is probably the best thing you can do. Learn before you earn. I learned the hard way. Before I could start earning money straight away, you need to learn first. Learn before you earn. And yeah, I think whoever that person is, in terms of whatever they are, they might be a family member, whatever it is, just as long as they're in the position you want to be in, then yeah, 100%.
And in, like, law of attraction as well, guys. Like, invest in yourself, right? So for both of us, as soon as we have invested in our businesses, invested in ourselves, it's the power of the universe, right? You see you're attracting more. Like, as soon as we started investing in mentors and stuff like that, we attracted more clients, we attracted more money, and you just do, because you have got to have that abundance mindset. You have just got to attract, like, the things that you want. So that's the best way to do it, boys. Like, you just gotta, just keep sticking at it. Invest in yourself. Investing in your knowledge is the main thing. Imagine there was a guy who knew everything. Okay. He could achieve whatever he wants, right? Knowledge is power, okay? Now, don't get me wrong, you have to apply the knowledge that you learn, and you have got to take action. But knowledge is power. So in whatever realm that is that you are focusing on, and you're trying to succeed in, knowledge is power. So constantly be studying and learn to be the student as well. Like, a lot of times people just want to say what they think and say what's on top of their mind, but learn to just be quiet once in a while then, listen, learn, and adopt whatever principles that mentor or whoever you're listening from is teaching you.
Listening is powerful, for sure.
Yeah. What made both of you guys get into fitness / bodybuilding?
Oh, I just hated the way I looked, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think for me it was just, I've always been involved in sports. I know you've been similar. Like, I always had a sporting background, played football my whole life, ran long distance quite well, did athletics and things, and I've always had that sort of sporting background. And for me, I kind of looked at myself getting older, going throughout, secondary school, high school, whatever you want to call it, and I just saw other people around me, developing, getting bigger, and I was like, well, I'm not doing that. And you start to think that sort of, you start to realise the importance of that as a man, the way you look, the way people perceive you. And for me, it was just a case I just wanted to change the way I looked. Didn't like how I looked, didn't like what people thought of me. Don't want to say bullied, but if anything, I'm glad people took the piss. I'm glad people, took the piss out of me in school, because it made me who I am today.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, it was purely just physique development focus when I got into it. I just wanted to improve the way I looked.
Yeah. It's exactly the same for me, boys. Like, I can just remember, just wanting to bulk out, just wanting to be that man, like alpha type. Like, you just want to be big, you want to feel strong, feel powerful. Don't want to be scared as well. Like, a lot of people get into bodybuilding because they don't want to feel scared of people. Like, they feel like they're like dweeby, or they feel like they're small. And when you get into the gym, you start feeling that process of getting better, getting bigger, getting stronger. You feel like you're more in control, and that is the main thing. It's really good, and it's funny, right? So when you start getting into it, obviously we fell in love with the journey of getting better and start progressing, and that's why we stuck at it. And you've got to learn to love the process, because a lot of people start in the gym and they feel it like it's a chore. You've got to change it up and learn to enjoy the process that you're going through, the progress that you're making. And you've got to, obviously keep looking into the future, keep pushing forward, but you've also simultaneously got to basically look at what you've already achieved. And that will keep you motivated, keep you going forward. But it is funny, like, I can remember being 13 years old, and I've said this before actually, when you get a routine in place, right? Especially in the gym, okay? And this is a bit of on a tangent, but when you get a routine in place, people might think, oh wow, he's really disciplined. Like at 13 or 14, I was going to the gym all the time, right? And from a lot of people, they're thinking, oh wow, you're disciplined. No, you just got a routine. You go to school, you go to work, whatever it may be, and you just go to the gym and that's it, okay? Like, it's same with nutrition plan. Once you build up a routine with anything, a lot of people can look at it, like brushing your teeth. You do it every single day, or you tie on your shoes. Any mundane task you might do, as soon as you integrate it into your routine, and the more you do it, it becomes second nature. And people might look at it from an outside perspective and think, oh wow, he's really disciplined, he's on top of things. But in your heart, you know, it's just like any other day, like you're doing. How to deal with the plateaus in training, understanding how to identify them so you make the most out of your training all the time. So how to identify
plateaus. So most of the time when you're plateauing in your early stages of training, you're probably not. In terms of like, I'm kind of specifically talking about when you need sort of, like you say, a deload from training. So you're not progressing in your strength, you're not getting, maybe seeing the visual changes. Most of the time, and I'm only speaking from experience here, you just need to actually train harder. Majority of the time, not all cases, you need to train harder. Start focusing on more advanced training techniques, taking your sets actually to failure, not where you think failure is, actually to mechanical failure, where you can't complete any more reps. And start, focusing more on your fatigue management between sessions. Actually make sure your volume is correct, and put more work in, sleep better, eat more, better quality food. But we know that the food you put in your body directly impacts how you look, feel, and recover, perform. Right. So normally, and if you're in those early stages, I'm talking year or two in, normally you're probably not plateaued, right? Because you should be making a lot of progress in the first 2 years. If you are genuinely at a point where you are not progressing, and you're not feeling like you want to get into the gym, fatigue's really, really high, you're not, strength isn't progressing in the gym, maybe you feel inflammation's high, your recovery's wiped out, you probably need a deload, right? You need to pull back from training, even take a few days off, allow the body to recover, come back more rested.
I was one of my clients the other day, he was saying how he'd never done a deload, and I was like, wow, okay. Obviously people go on holidays, and when you've been training hard, you go on a holiday or you go away for a while, you come back and you feel so refreshed, you're like, oh, the holiday must have been great. That is because your body's recovered, because you haven't been training as hard, because you've actually allowed your CNS to rest, to recover, and when you come back into the gym, you just feel that much stronger. So yeah, programming and deloads, and the main thing is find someone who knows their shit. So find someone who actually has gone through that process before and can identify when you need a deload, when you are getting through those plateaus and you want to level up your training. Because like for me, I was 16 years old, I invested in my first coach, powerlifting coach, because I knew that I wasn't seeing the strength progression I wanted. You've got to invest and look at other people who know what they're talking about, basically. And with deloads, that's it. If you're feeling how to identify if you need a deload, basically, just off the top of it quick. If you are feeling tired, if you're struggling with getting to sleep, if your progress in the gym isn't what it should be, right? If you have serious brain fog, if your appetite's suppressed, there's so many different variables, and if you search on Google, you'll be able to see the signs of why you need a deload. But yeah, you should basically really know when you need
100%. And speak to someone like you said that will know more about it. Don't be afraid to reach out. Final question is, what is the long-term vision of Genesis? So what you guys are seeing right now, Genesis on YouTube, our coaching, what is a long-term vision? I guess I will let you answer this one.
So boys, the long-term vision of Genesis. We have both said that obviously we come from a fitness background, and that is really important. We practice, obviously we preach fitness is everything, okay? That is the foundation that you build that will set you up for everything else in life, okay? As a man. But the long-term vision of Genesis, it is going to be a place that you go to level up every aspect in your life as a man, okay? I'm talking about finances, relationships, your fitness, your brotherhood, everything. Everything you could possibly think of you want to level up as a man, Genesis is where you go to, right? The word Genesis, the formation of something, new beginnings, okay? This is going to be the place where young men go to to become, from boys to become men.
You know, obviously we both got that background in fitness coaching. We understand how important it starts with the physical self. A strong body is a strong mind. That is the root of it, ultimately. But we also understand that there's so much more out there than just training, just doing this, just trying to be a bodybuilder, trying to be a powerlifter, whatever it is. And there's nothing wrong with just doing those things. But we understand that there's more to it than that, right? And we want to essentially we have created a community of like-minded individuals where you come onto this team, this community where you're around people that are constantly in a constant state of progression, right? So, and when you're in an environment, you simply cannot lose, because no matter what you do, wherever you are in your journey, you've just started out, you've never stepped foot in the gym, you've never spoken to a girl before, whatever it might be, you've never started a business, you might be around people who've started 3, 4, 5 businesses, you know, being in the gym for 10 plus years, like, it's been in that environment where you simply cannot lose, and it's having that sort of that sort of group to rely on, that family. And you know, I think we speak from experience, maybe a lot of you listening that don't have that sort of group that you fit in with. Maybe you're floating between groups throughout, you know, your upbringing, your school, college, university, wherever you are right now in life. You might find something's a bit different about you. You don't quite fit into the norm, the societal norms of the 9 till 5, living for the weekend, back on repeat, and work until you retire and die. Like, if you feel there's more that you can give, this is what we're doing here. This is what we want to show you, and this is what is the meaning of Genesis is going to be, and it's going to be good.
It's going to be good. Yeah, your parents, your friends, loads of people might tell you, oh no, you shouldn't do that. That's scary. You stay away from that, right? They are very risk adverse. They might say, oh, you shouldn't be doing this, like pursuing that business, leveling up your fitness. Like they almost look at you like you're weird, okay? But you're not. You just want to level up as a man, and you should want to level up as in every single metric as a man, right? Your finances, your fitness, all of that stuff, right? You should want to level up as a man, okay? It's not toxic masculinity like all these people fucking say. You should want to become the best man you can possibly be, okay? To protect your family, protect yourself, and to provide for others, right? If you want to give back to charity, you want to give back to the world, okay? You need to have finances so you can give to charity. You want to give as much as you possibly can, right? And in order to do that, you need to become the best man you can possibly be.
So boys, with that being said, if you want to find out more before we officially launch in the coming weeks, and you want to get ahead of the game before we increase our prices, see the link in our description of this YouTube video. There'll be a link to apply to essentially hop on a call with Lewis or myself. We'll have a conversation, see if we can help you, first of all, see if you're a good fit for what we offer here at Genesis. If it sounds good and you like the sound of it, we can talk about things and progress on and bring you onto the team. If not, you'll still come away from the call with a good idea of what we would do in your position going forward. So if you are interested, see the link below. But other than that, I think we're all good.
Yeah, you're going to get a good value from the call regardless, guys. So make sure you get in there. And also, I want to really stress the importance of this. The prices are never going to be this low again. This isn't a sales tactic. This isn't anything. The prices are never going to be this low again. And in this expanding process that we're doing now, we are adding 10 to 100 extra value inside Genesis as we are speaking.
You won't find another coaching program like this. And trust me, I can say that I've worked with, seen many coaches programs, and you will not find something with this amount of value at this price point anywhere on the market. So
you get in there now, boys, because you do not want to miss out on this opportunity. Trust me.
Yeah. Take it easy, boys. We will catch you in the next one.
Hope you enjoyed.